Well, I just couldn't be more proud of our football team, obviously. I'm so proud and feel so blessed to be a part of the Auburn family. Our players, our coaches, our fans. That was a game that will certainly go down in history. You know, it's hard to come back when you're down 24-0 against anybody. It's just hard to do. And but it was something that we've done before in terms of having to overcome a lot of adversity. And I couldn't be more proud of our coaching staff who made some great adjustments at halftime, both on offense and defense. Our players came out and executed it, and it was a great win for Auburn football. It was a great win for Auburn University, and I couldn't be more proud of the locker room in there that's full of a lot of love, I can tell you that. And they deserve this win tonight because they fought for it. And again, I just feel blessed to be a part of it.
Gene, just the defense seemingly underwent a transformation first half and second. Just talk about what was done differently.
Well, I mean, you know, first of all, we didn't tackle well a couple of times in the first half. That created some missed tackles, created a lot of yardage. We had a busted coverage earlier in the early in the game that led to a touchdown that should have never occurred. And we just had to settle down and play and really just kind of figure out what the game plan was going into the game and what their idea was on how to attack the defense. We felt like at halftime we had a good idea of what that was. We just need to settle down and play. And again, our coaches did a great job of adjusting at halftime as they've done all year. And the players did a great job of executing it. And it's hard to hold a team to 3 points in the second half, which is, I believe, what it was. And that was off of a turnover on a bobble punt. So I couldn't be more proud of our defense. Obviously, it was ugly in the first half. I think everybody saw that, but they responded really well.
You talk about the Antoine Carter and Nick Fairley, those two plays in the first half.
It's huge. Never giving up on a play. Here's the defensive lineman all the way down the field. He knocks the ball out for a touchback. That was a huge part because that could have really been, even a bigger deficit we had to overcome. We know that. And then Nick Fairley's sack and the fumble recovery. He's been doing it all year. And that was a huge play at the right time. I think some things happened in the ball game at just the right times that needed, for us to, when we needed to have a play. And bottom line is that those guys they played extremely hard all the way across the board, and they made the right plays in a timely fashion.
Coach, you tell the team at half, hey, we're still in it, but to get that score on the second play of the possession, that helped them believe that they could do it at that point.
Yeah, well, there's no question about it. We felt like at halftime, we went in and we felt like, we had a good idea of what defensively they were trying to do, where their blitzes were coming from. We felt like, what their ideas were to stop all of our quarterback run game, the things we needed to open up on the perimeter, whether it be in the pass game or the run game. So we just, again, we made some adjustments and we felt like we could get that done in the second half. And obviously that play to Chizik was huge.
What was your thought process in the 2 4 times, like 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 was, and then also 4th and 1?
We came here to win the game. We did not come here to tie. We did not come here with our hat in our hand. We came here to win the game. Sometimes you got to make those calls. And I tell you what, if we didn't have faith in our players and the way they executed, we'd have never made that call. But I have as much faith in our guys in a 4th and 4 and a 4th and 2 or a 4th and inches as anybody on the planet. So when you feel that way, you're gonna come on the road in a tough place to win, and you're gonna come here to win the game. That's what we did.
Is this a national championship caliber team?
I'm not going to go that far. We got a game next week. We have the potential to be a great football team. We play really, really well as a team. We'll be able to answer that, more in January.
Gene, I think Cam had -6 yards in total offense in the first quarter. That's what he's been with the past month or so. The way he responded, physically and mentally, is tough to hit as you've been around.
Without question. Cameron Newton is physically and mentally as tough as I've ever been around.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk about one-loss SEC teams, whether they deserve to play for a championship. I'm sure you've heard a lot of the controversy. In general, what's your thought about a one-loss SEC team, a team that runs through this conference? Does it just have a precedence over a Boise State or a TCU in your mind?
I have not had the privilege to watch the other teams that are, you know, in the top 5 in the BCS. You know, we're focused on, you know, who our next opponents are. Just think that my opinion probably doesn't matter, to be honest with you. So we're lucky enough to win the SEC championship, and we'll be playing for it. Whoever else, you know, may be in the mix for that, that's going to be not up to me.
Gene, you've been a part of a lot of big wins in your career. Could this be the biggest?
It's certainly up there. It's certainly up there. And you know, sometimes I think it's not just that you win. Sometimes I think a lot is about how you win. And I don't think anybody out there that saw that game tonight or anybody in this room would deny that that game tonight was not just a win. It was about how we won. And again, in a very tough place to be able to do that. So but it was certainly one of the greatest wins that I've been blessed to be around.
Can you talk about being aggressive in the second half on defense, like T-Bell's sack and that type of thing?
Well, we just felt like, you know, again, after we kind of saw the idea was, you know, they were going to run the ball a little bit, but their idea was to throw the ball, get it to Julio, you know, throw a lot of quick game, you know, be sure to negate a little bit of the pass rush. And then we felt like when we get them in situations where we, you know, where we felt like they were going to throw the ball, we knew we had to pressure them. And we couldn't keep sitting back, and if we weren't getting to the quarterback, let those receivers get open. That was kind of what we did in the first half, and we had to change that a little bit. So that's why we got more aggressive in the second half.
Was that key to win the thing?
I don't think there's any question. I don't think there's any question. They played better. They tackled better. They executed better. I'm talking about the defense, and I think that was a huge part of the game.
Can you express your true feelings on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Nick Fairley in the first half?
I'm disappointed anytime we get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on any of our players.
Do you blame him or do you blame the officials?
I never blame the officials. It's always on. It's our problem. We got to fix it.
Gene, this game, this past month, have you ever seen doubt in Cam's eyes?
Have I ever seen
Ever
what?
seen doubt in his eyes?
I'm not sure exactly what that refers to, but if it refers to, do I see doubt on the football field that there's ever a moment where we can't win the game, the answer is no.
With all the stuff that's been swirling around Cam, you haven't had a chance to look at him as possibly the Heisman Trophy winner. What kind of statement do you think he makes based on the anniversary of today's game and also come back and give the biggest game to victory?
Well, you know, again, I've made the statement that I haven't seen everybody that's up for the Heisman Trophy race. I certainly think that he is very worthy of very high consideration. I'll stop there because I haven't seen everybody else, but I know this. He's a great football player, and he's not the best player in college football. He's certainly one of them. So everybody else is going to have to make that decision, not me.
Coach Chizik, your team has obviously overcome a lot of distractions the last few weeks. What kind of a statement does a great win like this make to the BCS championship?
You know, I just think that, you know, week in and week out, you know, our guys are really, they're very resilient. They're very focused on the task at hand. And I know you hear me say that every week, and it sounds redundant. It sounds like, you know, that's great cliche head coaching stuff, but it's not. You know, I don't know what kind of statement it makes. We got to keep winning. We have one more to win. We got a very tough, not that I'm looking forward, not looking ahead. I'd like to enjoy this one a little bit tonight, but we got another very tough game coming up next Saturday. So, you know, if we win that one, then the statement will be that we're worthy of playing for the national championship.
Take a few more.
Gene, yeah, can you talk about Cam's performance in the second half, particularly in critical plays and the decision making?
You know, he's just one of those guys that, you know, if there's mistakes made early in the game, you know, he's generally not going to make that same mistake twice. That's generally his MO. And I think that he had a better idea and a better feel for different things. You know, we got sacked a couple times in the first half. I think he had a better idea of, you know, where the blitzes were coming from. As I said earlier, I think he got, you know, just a better feel for what did he need to do with the ball. And then again, we did a couple of different things trying to open up the running game a little bit more for him. And he's just going to keep pounding it in there and trying to fall for 4 and 5 and 6 yards, regardless of, you know, what they're doing. So, but I'm very proud of him because I thought, again, he responded like the rest of our team very well in the second half.
Gene, has the NCAA given you any sense of where they are in this investigation, and will it conclude in
I'm not addressing any of that.
One more question?
Gene, at the end of the third quarter, your players were about 10 yards off the sideline. I think you were in the middle of that. And then they ran about 20 yards almost to their Steves in the corner. It seemed like a very emotional kind of moment. Did you say something to him at that moment?
No, that's the 12th time we've done that this year. We do that every week. So they run, they get together, they talk, and then they sprint down one side of the field together as a team. And something they decided to do from the game on.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.